2021 Diaries. Welcome back. Yeah. Ooh, to 2021 Diaries. Welcome back. Welcome back to 2021 Diaries. Welcome back, back, back.
Welcome back, y'all. It's 2021. It's 2021.
It's 2021.
I don't even have words.
I'm right there with you. Well, welcome back.
Welcome back.
It's Saturday, January the 9th, 2021. And you know, Amanda, first, before we even dive into our first entry, this is our first entry of 2021. Now, you see the difference. You know, we're masked up today and we're protecting ourselves. And so we're following the code. You know, we're adhering to all of the many things that are going on right now. But before we dive in deep, I just want us to take a deep breath in. Breathe out. And one more. And I think we needed that today because, you know, it's a lot of things that are going on right now that could cause us to be heavy.
Yeah.
And very, 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 very stressed or anxious. But in today's entry, I want us to talk about positive things that we can do, that however we're bringing in 2021. What are the positive things that we're going to do from this day forward, moving forward? And what are some things we're going to leave behind in 2020?
Right. So to me, I read this stuff and what I thought of in my mind was, what did 2020 teach me that I want to bring with me? You know, what's really cool about just life in general is that every situation I go through, and every person I meet, gives me a portion, gives me a little something to put in my basket of knowledge, right? And I'm able to take those things and I'm able to either take what I need or leave it behind. And I think that that's important for me to remember with attributes that I have within myself, with things that I learn about myself as I grow, that it is okay to shed that skin and to leave those things behind. So I really, Cedric has been so amazing with picking out where we're at in the community, people to come and hang out with us, topics, all those good things. So I really was just touched to find out what today was going to kind of be about. So I'm excited about this.
Yeah, just the topic.
Right? It's just exciting to think about, you know, growth and change and positivity. I mean, that's what, regardless of what's happening, you know, in the world, in the country, in my personal life, in my professional life, whatever, that's what I'm choosing to think about all these things as. This is a chance for growth. Whether it's just my personal growth or whether it's the growth of many, it's a chance for growth. I just want to check in with Facebook real quick. We've got Lawrence checking in. Hey, Lawrence. We're glad to see you here this morning. We got Aaron. Hey, Aaron, what's up? I already knew he was going to be here, and he is. Welcome back, Cotter, with us as well. And we would have played that one, but, you know, copyright and all that stuff. So Cedric, the talented Cedric, hooked us up with his own version of Welcome Back to 2021 Diaries. So if you missed that at the very beginning of the show, check it out. Maybe we'll play it at the end too. Darlene, good morning. Roberta, good morning. And Kara Baskin, good morning. All right, Cedric, let's jump into this and let's get it rocking.
Let's have a little conversation. So
yeah, we're out here in the car fest, kind of like enjoying people. We got some little brunch to eat with you this morning and stuff. So we're just gonna hang out and enjoy y'all and talk about stuff. Good morning, Kim.
And today, you know, when we started out and we were thinking, wow, what can we discuss with 2021? Just our first entry. And I just was like, wow, we got so much we can discuss.
Yeah.
But the main thing that stands out to me right now is remaining positive through all of the chaos, all of the things that we are seeing, we're witnessing together. And so I saw some things that I want to share with everybody. It's kind of like maybe four positives that I've identified personally for me that I want to carry into this year. I want to continue to carry. And I want to talk a little bit about things that I want to leave behind as well. So the first thing, my life is my experience. You need not worry. You have the answers. They live inside of you. Your life is your experience. And I take that and I think about how my life experience has been different for your life experience. However, what we need is really inside of us. What we need to make this thing move forward in 2021 with all the stuff that we have going on individually as a people. Don't you know that the answers lie right in us? And it starts with love.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with just being positive and treating your neighbor the way you want to be treated. And so that life experience for me, those are the values and morals and values that I was taught. And so that's the first thing I know that I'm taking into 2021 as we move forward and throughout this year is to value my life experience and everything positive and share it.
Cedric, I love that. And on the flip side of that, I also want to say that I want to value the life experiences of other people. Sometimes, yes, that force is within me, right? Everything that I need is within myself.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's buried under layers and layers and layers of stuff, trauma, situations, guilt and blame for myself, all these things. Sometimes it's buried underneath those things. And sometimes I need to reach out to somebody else. And I need to tap in with somebody else who has an experience as well. And maybe they're able to share that lived experience that helps me tap in to that piece of me that I do have. And I think that, for me, that's why my supportive people in my life are so important because, well, yes, I do have everything that I need within myself. Sometimes I need somebody to help me think that myself because I will be quick to bury that stuff. So I love that. I love that so much. And I think that just somehow resilient we are as people, that we have what we need within us. But it also doesn't take away from the value of other people in our lives because they can help us dig up some of those things that we need sometimes. They can also be the reason we bury some of those things we need sometimes, right? So it's important, for that supportive network to actually be a supportive network. What else you got, Cedric?
Emotions have a beginning, a middle, and the end.
Ooh.
If you go all the way through your emotions, you get to the light at the end. Exhaustion does happen, but we can't get stuck in our emotions. So think about 2021 right now today and how emotional all of us have been. We have been on emotional highs and emotional lows, angry, sad, mad, confused, frustrated. But the one thing that is said here is that we can't get stuck. So we're going to carry some positives over into 2021. We can't get stuck in this. We got to move in the direction towards the light. And so that's something that I want to carry with me, not getting stuck. If I have that emotion, I want to be able to drain off that emotion around my supports of people that are not going to judge me, but going to understand, and allow me to drain that emotion, but also allow me to position myself to move forward and stay on a forward thinking path. So we can't get stuck in our emotions. We just can't get it out, cry it out, yell it out, scream it out, but we can't get stuck there because we got to move towards that light. We got to move towards that light.
We got to, and sometimes it's so easy, right? When we're in that feeling, especially when we've been in that feeling for a long time, when when our grandparents and our mothers and our great-grandparents and our great-great-great-grandparents and generations have felt these feelings and we carry them within our DNA. This is not my personal lived experience, right? But generational trauma, historical trauma is real. And it's hard sometimes, from what I hear from people that have that experience, to to be able to move past. And I think that it's not always about moving past. I think it's identifying those emotions, connecting with other people who can relate, right? And asking them, hey, how are you dealing with what you feel or what you have felt? Because it goes back to that first one, that we have what we need within ourselves. And sometimes we have to reach out to those people with a little more experience than us to be able to learn how to process those emotions and move forward into something beautiful and, the metamorphosis, just the change. Whatever that change is, whether that is, that change within, or whether that change is, now you're ready to go and share that education with other people, or whatever your journey is. I think that these things just tie in so well together.
They do.
One just kind of leads and almost needs the other, right?
Yeah.
But what I took most from that was that emotions do have places that are important to identify, because when I'm able to identify and I can express the beginning and that middle, then I can move closer to that end. But I personally have to be able to identify those things first. Where does this emotion, where does this feeling stem from? And like I said, for me, it's things that, the traumas that I've experienced personally, that can be, vicarious traumas. We have a class about that, through the eyes of others, with Lisa and Aaron, where they speak about vicarious traumas. Those feelings can come from other people's traumas.
Right.
Sometimes when we work and we listen to and we identify ourselves as healers, right? It's easy for me to take on that trauma that I'm hearing someone else has experienced. And I have to be able to identify that, wow, this is where that feeling is coming from. This feeling is coming from that really intense traumatic conversation with this person. So I think that's what it said most to me, was to get to the end, I have to be able to identify the beginning and the middle.
What's it?
Oh my goodness, you are killing me, Cedric. You're running it together.
But it's right on time, because this next one says it's okay with not being. It's okay to be okay. We talk about that all the time. It's okay not to be okay. And that just makes me want to check in with everybody. I know we have some folks commenting, but I hope you guys are okay with not being okay, but we're moving towards something positive. We gotta keep a positive mind in today's society, period.
I think it's okay to like it says, it's okay to sit in that okayness. It's okay to feel what I feel, and it's okay to be in that beginning or middle stage of feelings, right? And it's okay to sit there for a little while. But for me, when I sit there too long, it leads to other things. It leads to depression and increased anxiety, and some other traumatic responses that I don't like to have. And that when I'm in my well zone, when I'm Amanda, when I'm the Amanda that I want to be, I don't have those traumatic responses. So I want to say that yes, it is okay to sit in that okayness. It is okay to be okay. They're too long, y'all. Reach out to somebody. We got a warm line. While I'm talking about it, let me go ahead and throw that number up. We got a warm line if you need to talk to somebody, if you need somebody to listen to you, if you just want to sit on the phone in silence. Of course, my suggestion would be to let them know, like, hey, I just want to sit here with someone. I don't want to talk. I just want to be here, because they may think it's a hang up if you don't. But definitely reach out to the warm line. These folks are working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It's free. It's confidential. If you don't want them to know your name, then you don't have to tell them your name. If you don't want them to call you back as a check-in or of some sort, then you have that right. This is a line where it is about you. So, if that's something you need, you just need to sit in that okayness with somebody, that's okay too. Reach out. But I'm going to go ahead and let you know, we're going to encourage you not to sit in that okayness for too long, because our lived experience is that sitting there for too long can start to make me personally regress. I'm no longer that middle, right? Now I'm at the beginning again.
Right, you're at the beginning. You got to
start all the way over. And while starting over is not a bad thing, and it's okay to start over, y'all. Right. It is always okay to start over. If we don't got to, we ain't got to.
But keep it moving.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. The last thing I want to say is look up. Hold your head up. Look around you. Look at the things that are around you that are helpful, that bring you positivity. Look at these. Surround yourself by people who have great energy. Who are saying who have the same mindset as you trying to move forward. Because we can't sit in this car together and I have hate towards you, you have hate towards me.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. I'm glad that we can sit here and love each other just because of who we are. You know what I mean? Just because of the mindset, man.
Yeah.
Everything that we're talking about, we can work together, together, be okay. So look up, look around, surround yourself by positive people, and things to help you stay on that moving forward journey throughout this 2021, throughout this year.
Yeah.
Now, I do know some things I want to talk about real quick, and I'm not taking into 2021.
Let's talk about them.
That's a negative mindset.
Okay.
That's hatred in my heart. That's living in a box instead of not thinking outside of the box. And that's it.
So my question is, Cedric, how do you plan on implementing that into your life? How do you plan on not taking those things? Because I know that for me and for people, these are things that, not these things, but maybe some of our negative attributes that we don't want to take, right? We've lived in for years, right? This is now a habit. This is kind of a little bit of who we are. How do we break free of that? How do we not have hate in our heart? How do we start to live in the positive instead of the negative? And I think that a lot of things are discussed within so many of our other classes that we offer at PRN. I know that Jane talks about these types of things all the time. How do we move past, negativity towards self and into self-love? And that in itself is a daily practice. And for me, that starts with talking to myself the way that I would talk to other people. The reality is I would not talk to other people and tell them they're ugly or they're fat or they're these things that I tell myself. You're not worthy. You're not good enough. I would never tell someone else those things. So it starts for me with the daily practice of changing how I talk to myself. And I've learned that the better I feel about myself, the easier it is for me to be positive. The easier it is for me to not have hate in my heart, because for me, sometimes hate can show up as jealousy, right? I think hate shows its face in so many different ways. And we're able to clump it in just the grand feeling of hate. For me, it can come through jealousy or envy, and that's not pretty to wear. That's not a dress that I enjoy putting on. So I think for me, it starts with just being mindful daily and practicing small things like positive self-talk, positive talk to other people too. It's easy sometimes to sit down with people in my life that are close to me and not be so positive, right? But that accountability, hey, can we change the subject? This isn't really positive. Can we change the narrative? Can we switch? Can we flip the way we talk about this? And I know that is so hard to do with some of the things that we're talking about in today's society and in what's happening in today's world.
But as you were talking, because it is hard to not to have that hate. Then what? You got to understand to hurt people tend to hurt other people.
Right. Aaron says, love starts with who I see in the mirror, and so does hate. And I just nailed it. Nailed it, Aaron.
That's so true. That is so true.
That's the reality of it, though. Because when I dislike who I am, whether it's who I am physically or who I am on the inside, I find that I really don't like a lot of other people in my life either. I find that I have a lot of arguments. I find that I butt heads a lot. I find that I become very confrontational. And these things aren't necessarily bad things to be, but there's a time and a place for confrontation, right? There's a time and a place for an attitude. And 24/7 ain't it.
Right.
But that's who I become when I hate who I am in the mirror, or when I, that internal mirror. So I think that definitely hit it. He also said that we play the way we practice. And that goes back to that positive self-talk. If I talk negatively to myself,
I never really thought about it like that. We play the way we play.
I mean, I can hear Aaron in my head because he does sports analogies, y'all. It's all about a sports analogy. And fortunately, I learned to talk to men, which normally requires sports analogies. That's just how they communicate the best. I'm just saying. So what I think of is, like, I think of those movies and TV shows where you hear the coach, screaming at the players about practice, about how they're not practicing good. And how this might be practice, but the game's on Friday, and you've got to practice today like you're going to play on Friday. Right. And that's what it makes me think of, is that if I'm not giving it my all on my daily practices, when it comes time to get in the game for real, I'm not going to know what to do. I'm going to be stunned, shocked, and amazed. The crowd's going to be looking at me, and I'm going to be too nervous to play.
And you know what? Every day we play the game. Every day we leave out into society. We interact with people. We're playing that game.
Yep.
And you learn everything right there at home in that mirror.
Yeah.
In those four walls, with those, where you learn how to talk to people, how to treat people, how to treat yourself. You learn those things right there. So that's your practice there. Mm-hmm. And then, when you're in your home, you're able to practice, but you're also able to apply what you've learned at practice out here every time you walk out in the real world. So I just challenge everybody to go back and reboot, reset if you need to. Because if you feel like you're out here and you're playing the game, or you're living life and you're interacting and it's not working for you because there's something you're struggling with, go back. Go back and reset and try over.
Take that game out of the system. Give it a good blow. Y'all remember, y'all who had Nintendos back in the day. And from the people watching me, I know that y'all are in that age bracket to know. Take that game out of the system. Blow on the cartridge. Put it back in there and let's restart it. That's a beautiful thing to know, that every day, any time of the day, I can restart my day. It took me a while to know how to do that, because I thought, I don't have time to lay down and take a nap all the time and restart my day. But that's not really how I restart my day. I also want to say, hey, Nikki, I'm glad to see you here today. I hope you're feeling well. It's always a pleasure when you join us. But yeah, for a while, I didn't know how to restart my day. I kept hearing it, right? I heard it in all kinds of rooms, because the rooms always said that. Restart your day anytime you want to. But I didn't know how. Today, I know that starts for me with taking a few deep breaths, like we did at the beginning, clearing my mind. It may be sit down and have something to eat. It may be reaching out to someone who I know can pour positivity into me. Because energy transference, y'all, is real. You ever been around somebody that had a real nasty attitude? It didn't take you long to catch one too, huh? I know that's how it works for me.
Yeah, right.
Energy transference is real. So reach out to somebody who's positive. And for me, I'm honest with that person. Hey, Cedric, I'm not doing great right now, and I just need a little positivity in my life. Do you have a minute? That's how I ask that person for permission for their energy, because I don't want to take energy that you can't spare right now. Because the reality is that I can't pour from an empty cup, and I'm not asking the other person I'm reaching out to pour into me when they're almost empty themselves. So I ask permission. Hey, do you have time for that? Can we chat? I need a minute with you.
Remember when I said look around? Like, even today, I was just pointing out how nice this day is.
It's beautiful.
And it actually lifts my spirits. just to be out here and just to take the sunshine
It
in.
feels good to sit in the car to watch the people around us. I mean, I've been
Right.
people watching the whole time we did this. So just to watch the people around us. I know that this Krispy Kreme donut is getting good and warm up here in my dash. I know it's going to be delicious. I can't wait. We're about to dig into those here in just a second, anyways. But yeah, I mean, so sometimes that reset comes from just like you said, just stopping and looking at just the beauty that was created around me. Because even in the midst of darkness and anguish and controversy and a lot of other stuff, there is physical beauty around us. I know it's wintertime, the leaves are gone, right? Like it looks pretty bare. But I keep looking at those birds because they keep coming back to the same little post in front of us. And I'll say that because this is not the first time that I've noticed these birds at Concord Mills. That's where we're at. They tend to hang out here and they fly in circles. But I'm watching the way there's a flag in the distance here, and I'm watching it just fly because I'm watching the wind. I'm not really even caring about the flag, but I'm watching the wind. And it's just how it's dancing. I just reset my day. It was just that simple. I just reset my day.
Your whole mindset, your whole mood.
Yeah.
And that's what today's entry is about. In 2021, this is our very first entry of 2021 Diaries, and I'm sure we're going to have many more to come. But we wanted to start out this particular entry on a positive note. Miss Bass said the front porch is my reset place.
I know that's right. So Kara and I went to high school together. Kara is one of my good friends. Kara is from the country, as am I.
Me too.
As are you. And let me tell you something, y'all. In the South, there are a couple of things that we like that are pretty good. And two of those things are rocking chairs and a good front porch. There ain't nothing like having a good front porch. In fact, I no longer live in the country. But the reason I even bought my home was because it had a good front porch.
Yeah.
So, girlfriend, you ain't said nothing that I don't think myself. She says swinging her life away. That was always my thing growing up too. I'd put on my headphones to my little portable CD player. That's how long ago it was,
CD
right?
Player, right? The one you put the CD in.
Yep. My headphones in, and I go sit on the front porch and swing on the front porch, and I would do that for hours, Cedric. Hours. It was how I coped with whatever I was coping with. And that could be just normal teenage stuff, or it could have been, family things or whatever. So get it how you live it. We were kind of brought in this world, swinging or rocking or something. So that's a coping skill that a lot of us have had for years, right? That rocking. Rocking is a self-soother. It is a self-soother. Sometimes if you've ever been around me and it's kind of a tense situation, the first thing I do is I'll rock a little bit. And that can happen when I'm standing up or when I'm sitting down. Aaron said one reason that he loved his grandmother's house in North Philly was she had the most comfortable porch. I love these memories around the front porch, though. And I think that it goes beyond cultural bounds, right? I mean, there's just these things that bring us comfort. And I love that memory, Aaron. So thank you.
Well, we need it right now.
Yeah, we need these memories of comfort.
We need the memories of comfort. We need the physical feelings of comfort.
For sure.
We need to apply whatever coping skill so we can have some comfort right now in our space.
Yeah.
In our space. So I would just encourage everybody to go back and replay and listen to this first entry. I hope you guys gathered something from this dialogue, about being positive in this era we're living in right now and being able to move forward and stay positive in your mind.
Kristen's called me out. She says you do sway when you stand up. I noticed that. Thanks, KB. Yeah, That's soother. Sometimes it's saving me and somebody else. You never know. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hit the theme song one more time. Next week we'll be coming back and this will be an actual little video and stuff for us.
Is it next month?
It is next month.
Things are changing.
Man, we're on once a month. I've already forgot. Kara's co-signing. Yeah, I do sway. I'm done with y'all. That's enough. We're about to leave. Aaron said our commonalities are greater than our differences. And I love that. So if you have nothing else today, I hope that you heard that. I hope that you heard that our commonalities are greater than our differences. I also hope that you hear that, that if no one's told you that they love you, that we love you. And we hope you have a great weekend. I think there's a 2:30 class coming up today, and I know that there was Get Moving that happened at 10. Go check that link out if you feel like you need a little movement in your life. And we'll see you next month, y'all. Welcome back to 2021 Diaries. Welcome back, yeah. To 2021 Diaries. Welcome back to 2021.